It happened again. All right, how's that, Darlene? Hello, Callie. Sorry about that. It happened again. I've been just running by the skin of my teeth today. I got in super late from work. Well, actually, I got in on time from work, but super late to start the podcast. And every time OBS updates or my computer updates, it resets all of the audio device drivers in OBS, which is the software we use to stream with, so I have to go in and change it, and I didn't think to do that again. But anyway, welcome to Hollercast. We are plugging our merch shamelessly. We're drinking our favorite beverages. Listen to this. Listen, I got to do it again because I didn't catch it the first time. Out of our nice mugs.
It never ceases to amaze me how you're a shameless promoter.
Dude, if you don't promote yourself...
This is true.
You know?
This is true. I don't disagree with that.
Oh,
well, I was just saying before when we were losing the sound, it's a shame that Pepsi is a North Carolina company, and I don't like it more.
And it sucks.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
It does. It really does. Although, I like Pepsi products. I'm a Mountain Dew Zero guy. I like Mountain Dew Zero. I drink them in place of Monsters. I used to drink Monsters all the time, and now... life has left me with only one kidney, and if I drink a Monster, my head may explode. In fact, it feels like it's going to. So, to get my caffeine, I drink...
So what is all the, besides energy drinks, are there other things you try to avoid?
Yeah, just anything that's... I don't drink coffee. Very, very rarely do I drink coffee. I'm just really hypersensitive to caffeine. B12, anything that gives me a lot of energy, I'm really hypersensitive to. So it's like, okay, well, I'm tired and I'm sleepy, so I drink an energy drink, and then I'm not sleepy anymore, but my heart rate's 140. It's like
it's a little more high potency with just one kidney in it.
Yeah,
I get that.
It takes my body a little bit longer to break things down and rid myself of
Right,
them.
I hear you.
So just a regular caffeinated
a caffeinated beverage. No, yeah, that's interesting. I've never actually asked you that question.
Yeah. So just caffeinated beverages, super caffeinated beverages, I tend to stay away from.
I hear you. I hear you.
They make me super jittery sometimes. I mean, I've been like super nauseous. Have you ever been caffeine sick before?
No, I have not.
Oh, it's awful. It's awful. Have you ever been nicotine sick before?
I think probably the first time I dipped way back in the day, and I'm not a dipping guy.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not a dip guy, but dip is just like a rush of nicotine that you cannot,
dude, I know,
handle. It's it all comes all at once, bro.
So telling on myself here, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's it's no secret that I used to smoke marijuana. I used to partake in marijuana a long time ago. Don't anymore, but I used to.
Sure.
The first time I smoked I guess you would call it a blunt, but it was rolled out of a actual tobacco leaf.
Oh, God.
I got way more of a nicotine buzz than I did a buzz off of weed. I was sick. I was so sick.
I could never do the blunts.
It was awful.
Either.
Not a big fan.
No, me either.
So anyway, buy our merchandise at shophollercast.com.
Hey, Kaylee brought up a good point. I did want to hit on that. We were touching about it. I did see that argument about or that post about the food trucks at the splash pad. I mentioned I've been going to the meetings, to the town council meetings, and I think you could bring that. You'd probably be surprised with the logistics behind that.
Yeah.
That's something a lot of people, I personally think it would be a great thing. Mm-hmm. But I'm sure there's probably a reason why that's not already happened, because I'm sure that and if you open that door, like, who do you allow? How do you I think you have to be fair to everybody. Then people get pissed off because they're not, it's just one of those kind of things. So.
That's an interesting question. So, food vendors, I reckon you would have, like, if you did try to do something like that, maybe food trucks.
Yeah. Like
through.
That's what I'm saying. But you'd have to somehow make that fair to people, put it on like a rotating kind of thing.
Sure.
Create a whole system for it, I'm sure. Or you just don't do it at all and you don't open up that bag of worms. But I'm sure there's probably reasons behind that. And the parking is limited down there, too. That was the other thing I kind of thought about. It doesn't take a whole lot for that parking lot to fill up now. especially with that splash pad down there. That's a pretty small parking lot. I got a couple of additional spaces, kind of down the creek walk a little bit, but that's about it. It gets crowded down there sometimes.
What you could do, and this is probably a terrible idea, but I've just not had a filter today for some reason. Yeah. So something you may be able to do or the town could divvy out so many slots and then charge per month, per week, whatever for that, and use that money to help maintain the splash pad in the park.
I definitely think it could be a revenue source. It needs to be a revenue source. If they allow it, you're taking up a parking spot, you're taking up space.
Yep.
And it needs to make the town money somehow, for sure.
Well, speaking of making money, right now we're going to take a minute to let you hear from our sponsors. Hollercast is proud to partner on our first community fundraising effort, Give Keith a Good Leg to Stand On. Keith Stewart is a member of the community who has had several life-changing medical diagnoses arise this past year. He was diagnosed with stage 3 laryngeal cancer and has had to have his voice box removed as part of the treatment. Also, due to complications with neuropathy, he has wounds that cannot heal and needed a below-the-knee leg amputation. Throughout all this, he stays strong and proud, missing his life of being able to speak and walk. Keith is a kind-hearted soul and has always been a helping hand to others, and now he is in need of a helping hand himself. His savings has been depleted due to the overwhelming cost of the surgeries and medical bills. The funds raised will be used to pay for a prosthetic leg, an electric wheelchair, making his home handicap accessible, as well as a permanent voice box implant. Please visit the link in the description below to donate and help give Keith a good leg to stand on. Hey, and we're back. So, Chase, we were just talking about the Alien Festival. That's this weekend.
I know, right?
That's this weekend.
Boy, I really hope that it's pulled off without a hitch.
I do too.
I've seen some things that concern me a little bit just with the logistics of it, but I think in terms of the marketing is a little bit confusing, I feel like, and this is not to knock anybody. I know festivals are hard, especially your first time taking over a new festival.
Sure,
for sure. But it seems like there's kind of been some confusion, and I don't know. I hope everything kind of goes off, but I'm glad that it's getting the cloud. Really love the decoration out next to the bank.
Yes. Yeah. The saucer, the crash saucer,
the crash
is
saucer is pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
I'm a fan.
Yeah.
I'm a fan. I hope it does go off without a hitch, and I think it will. I mean, sure, there's going to be little hiccups here and there. Every festival has its...
Right.
Every dog has its day.
They're not doing it down on Lower Street. They're doing it on the Upper Street for some reason.
Really? So I didn't know that. That's different. Have we ever had a festival on Upper Street before?
Well, they do those, the L&L Furniture puts on those worship nights or whatever. That's not really like a festival, though, Not. I was trying to think. I think at some point the Blacksmithing Festival was on Upper Street.
Was it really?
Back in the day. Now it's on, last 2 years at least that I've went, that I can remember, it's been on Lower Street. But I want to say that the Blacksmithing Festival was on Upper Street at one point. And then we closed it down for something else to have like an ice skating rink at one point. They put it. Remember that?
Did, yes. God, that was forever ago, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't remember exactly what that was right off the top of my head.
If you're in the chat and you can remember the ice skating rink thing, please remind us what the deal was with that, because I vaguely remember that, though.
Yeah, and I don't know what it was for. But I look forward to this. I hope that it goes. I hope that it goes well. It's hard. I mean, maybe I think people need to give people a little bit of a longer leash. You know what I mean? Doing a festival is difficult. You know what I mean? And I understand. Yeah. I've heard some things that maybe they're the conversations with the police department and the fire department have not quite gone as they should have. Right. Maybe. And I don't want to put any rumors or stuff out there. This is just things that people have told me. I have no way of substantiating that whatsoever, but that's just what I've heard.
I don't want to put any rumors out there, but I heard that the Spruce Pine Police Department was actually going to contract out the New York Police Department to do our security and the Hells Angels as well.
Right.
But I don't want to start any rumors.
With those robotic dogs.
That's just what I heard. Robot guard dogs.
Yeah,
absolutely. No. To your point about giving, that's a great thing that you just said there. We need to give everybody, each other, and ourselves a shorter reach, a
longer leash.
A longer leash, yeah.
Yes.
Shorter, sorry, it's been a long day. We need to cut each other some slack, and we need to cut ourselves some slack.
True.
We need to stop being so hyper focused on every tiny little minute detail about everything, and just enjoy life.
Well, and the thing is, you know, it's hard for anybody to get every detail of everything right. I mean,
Sure.
there's no way. Like, I mean, I don't care how thorough you are. You know, things are
Right.
different. You know, you're dealing especially I would imagine when you're dealing with festivals, and I know, you know, from my.
I've
wow.
never done a festival.
No.
That's a huge undertaking. It has to be.
Well, my primary job as a general contractor is like scheduling,
Right.
like
A lot of coordination.
a lot of coordination, managing people, resources, things like that. And
Right.
that, even on that scale, is not easy. I can imagine trying to coordinate an entire town festival, you know, which is why I have so much respect for Jimmy.
It's
I mean,
all I can do to coordinate my house and my son
right.
and my cats.
It's all I can do to coordinate my brain.
Right? Right. So maybe we take it down a peg.
Yeah.
Myself included.
Right.
Myself included. I and speaking to me.
Yeah.
Maybe I take myself down a peg and just understand that when people take on these big projects, that they're just that. They're big projects. And, you know, I put myself in their shoes. My God, I would be mortified.
Yeah, I would too. And where do you start? Like, I think there's so many.
Call Jimmy and say, Jimmy,
Jimmy, help me. Help me, Jimmy. Jimmy. Help me, Jimmy. I don't know, man. But
you call someone.
there's a ton of moving pieces in something like that. I mean, way more than you would ever think. And I think that's true in a lot of things, you know.
It is.
Even when we, when we criticize the people that are in positions of power, I do, especially on a local level, I think it's fair to give people a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. Even people that I don't necessarily agree with on everything. Because it's hard.
I would argue that it is important to especially give people you don't agree with the benefit of a doubt.
Sure.
Because then you don't keep yourself in an echo chamber. You expose yourself to other ideas.
Yeah. Agreed.
You keep an open mind, but not so open that your brain falls out.
Right. No. You got to keep it tightened up a little bit, keep it in there.
To quote Richard Dawkins.
Right. Oh, that's a Dawkins quote?
That's a Dawkins quote. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Richard Dawkins.
Let's go.
I'm a large fan.
Yeah?
Because I'm large and I'm a fan. I'm so full of shit today. Oh, man, it's been just a crazy week. It feels good to just laugh and cut up.
I know, right? How about the smoke, dude?
What is going on with
I
these
don't know.
fires?
Is Canada just burning completely to the ground and we don't...
I mean, Justin Trudeau's been in power for a few years, so probably...
Yeah, sure. Heard that. But I don't... Supposedly all this is smoke from Canadian wildfires, and I don't know how in the world, like...
Is that why it smells kind of like maple?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God!
That's good. It took me just a second, and then it dawned on me.
I've got.
Smell like a damn pancake out here.
That would be amazing. I would set fire to everything if it made the world smell like pancakes.
Oh my gosh, man!
People are just like, "What is wrong with these Hollercast guys?" Oh,
but seriously though, let's look this up because I don't know. I've heard, this is what I heard, that there are fires in British Columbia and in like Ontario, both, and like we're getting kind of the brunt of all of it apparently.
Okay, so let's move this up here onto the screen, and I'm going to bring up our desktop view. Okay, so we've got map shows which U.S. city-states are being impacted by the wildfires. I heard, and this is weird, but I heard all the wildfires started at one time, like at the exact same time. I don't know if there's any truth to that. I saw it on TikTok, so it's probably just completely fabricated.
Right.
But that would be pretty wild if it were true. Okay, let's see, here we go. The New York Times. NewsGuard certified.
All right.
Really? Behind a paywall? Jeez.
I hate that.
Gosh.
You can't even learn about Canada burning down without having to pay.
Pay $1. All right, whatever.
Let's go straight to the source.
Canada's natural resources. Okay, so we've got... Looks like, yeah. Canadian Wildfire Information System.
Yeah, it looks like. So that's British Columbia on the far left there in the red.
Yep.
So what is that? That's just weather, right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, this is... Here's the National Wildfire Situation Report. Nova Scotia.
Holy crap, dude.
Wow, 17,186 HA, which I'm assuming is some kind of acreage.
Hectares. Hectare, or is that what that is?
I have no clue, dude.
What is that, Rebecca? Rebecca
know.
Probably knows.
I'm
that
sure
seems like something she
She's
would
very
know.
smart. I am not. I'm going to go to a different website because this is not making any sense.
No, that's all in Canadian.
It is.
We can't understand that.
Canadian.
We can't understand that.
I'm not
Canadian.
your guy, buddy. I'm not your guy.
Let's see.
Wildfire smoke, ABC News. Alrighty.
Wildfires burning in Canada. See, this is what it always just says. It just like glazes over where the fires are.
Yes, we know they're in Canada. Okay, so, wow. Most hazardous air quality from Canadian wildfires. Looks like it's going, well, this part goes right over us. Cool.
Where are the actual fires, though? I looked this up, and I couldn't find it earlier either.
I don't know. Is Canada's infrastructure crumbling?
Outside Halifax. Halifax, that's in Nova Scotia.
Yeah.
Well, what about the...
16,000?
They wouldn't be coming from Nova Scotia, because that's, like, further east than the east coast of America, right?
Yeah. CNN. Will this website work? We're just trying to get the news, man. Hectakers. Yes, so it's
Hectakers?
Hectares. I don't know how you pronounce it.
Hectares. That's what I thought.
Hectares.
I didn't know that was abbreviated HA, though. I figured it would be HT, maybe.
Weird.
What is a hectare? How big is that compared to an acre?
It's a Canadian acre, so it's square. Smoke from wildfires in Canada is moving into parts of the central United States and could linger in the days ahead. Health and wildfire officials warned Thursday. Air quality alerts have been posted as of early Friday across several states, including Nebraska, Washington, Montana, and Wisconsin, with a special weather statement about air quality in Wyoming.
You missed your calling.
You.
I can't do that. That's pretty good, dude. You missed your calling.
The heaviest smoke concentrations should shift further east into the Midwest later in the day, affecting major metro areas including Chicago, Indianapolis, and St. Louis.
Canada has had an especially active start to the fire season. Last week, devastating wildfires in Alberta, okay, now we're getting somewhere, had burned more than 150 times more area in the province than in the last 5 years combined by the same point in the year. Wow, okay. So apparently this is something that happens a lot, but it's especially active. So in Alberta, so they got them in Nova Scotia. They got them in, supposedly I heard, in British Columbia. And then again in Alberta, too.
Okay, so a hectare is 2.4 acres.
Ooh, wow.
That is so Canadian. That's so bizarre. Oh, my God. We're just going to go back to us now because I'm tired of all the ads.
That's all you ever get is ads.
Ads. That's like they're advertising fire.
But yeah, it's been super hazy. It's kind of a bummer. You can't really see like you usually can.
Well, I was in a water truck today up in the mines, so it was just like nothing. It was a dust bowl anyway.
Sure.
So that is like that's the best job where I work, the water truck by far, because you're just driving around spraying water, but it's also the most infuriating job because you drive a stretch of road, you wet it down so it doesn't stir up dust, and then I don't know, anywhere from 40 to 80 seconds later, it's just completely bone dry again. So
wow. Does it absorb water that much?
It just dries out that fast.
Oh, it just dries out that fast?
Yeah, just spraying the road to try and keep the dust down.
Is it mostly is all that stuff mostly feldspar dust? Shit?
It's just dust from the rock up in the mines. It's a combination of all of the minerals because it's not been separated yet.
So is there something about the Savannah sand, like that bunker sand that they send out of here, that's preferential as opposed to any other sand other than the fact that it's stark white? Does it absorb water well or something like that, or hold? I would assume it probably doesn't hold water.
That's a good question. I don't know.
Because you don't want a bunker at a golf course to just be a pond, basically.
I don't know. We sold fracking sand for a little while, too, and I'm not sure what products we used for fracking sand or bunker sand. All I know is just the high-purity quartz, feldspar, and mica markets that I'm part of by driving around a giant squirt gun.
But there are other parts of Sibelco that deal with those types of things, huh?
Yeah, Sibelco is actually pretty large. So we also have a glass recycling facility and all kinds of other stuff. We don't. Sibelco does.
Right.
But, yeah.
What other things is Sibelco mine? Where are they involved in any other mining activities around the world? Oh,
gosh, yeah. All over, man.
Yeah.
All over. Anything that can make them $1, they're there.
So they're getting it out of the ground. It's all mining stuff, though.
All mining stuff, yeah.
All mining.
Yep.
That's interesting.
But that's enough about Sibelco. I'll be there for 12 hours again tomorrow. Let's move on to the wildfires again. So Canada's burning down.
They'll be all right. They'll figure it out.
They'll
put on their plaid lumberjack shirts, drink their maple syrup and their milk in a bag, ride the yak and defeat the fire.
What's up with the milk in the bag?
I don't know.
That is so weird. It's like us drinking wine out of a box. That's weird to me, too.
Maybe it's supposedly wine out of a box is it's preserved better than in a bottle.
Because it's just in a plastic, bag, bladder system.
Inside of a dark box.
Oh, I wonder if it's the absence of light that allows it to...
Probably. I know that's the reason they started making milk jugs like that off-white color instead of clear. Yeah.
Huh.
Because it apparently preserves better with no lights or less lights in it.
The more you know.
The more you know. How about milk, though, dude? They launched remember that Got Milk campaign?
Yeah, I do.
One of the most successful ad campaigns of all time. Apparently milk was really dropping off before that. And Got Milk just stormed it all the way back.
Huh.
You do dairy? Are you a dairy guy?
Cheese.
Dude, are you a milk guy?
No, I never drink
I'm not
milk.
really either that much. I drink when I do drink milk, I do the lactose free.
Really?
Yeah.
When I do drink milk, I do whole milk, but it's very rare that I ever drink milk. And if I do, it's no more than a glass.
Right.
I don't know. It's just not I don't really care for it all that much. Now, cheese, on the other hand, I'm pretty sure every meal that I consume every day, all day, has some form of lots of cheese on it.
Mm-hmm. I love cheese. I'm a big cheese guy. I could be a cheesemonger, I think. Why do they call it a monger?
A monger?
I can understand I don't even know if I understand a fishmonger. Rebecca, look it up. Look it up.
A monger. Veer says, I think we won't. The earth is on fire in so many ways, and unfortunately we have no fortitude to correct it. I don't know. Maybe I'm a little more optimistic than that, but it does seem that Rome is burning.
It's hot out there, yeah.
Rome is falling, and we're watching it with Wi-Fi.
Yeah. I agree.
Monger definition.
Veer, I saw your online interactions today. That was funny, dude.
Okay. A monger is a dealer in a specific commodity, often used in combination, or a person promoting something undesirable or often used in combination. A trader, a dealer, now used only or chiefly in composition as fishmonger, ironmonger. So it's like a fish dealer, an iron dealer, someone who...
yeah, in some way that has a negative connotation in my mind.
Yeah, okay.
Like a it kind of reminds me of mongrel.
Yeah. like a fear monger,
like a drug monger.
Yeah, a drug monger, a merch monger.
Right. Nice one. Nice one.
Well, yeah, man, absolutely. That's interesting. I didn't know what monger meant.
Yeah.
As far as its actual definition.
A fishmonger.
But that's I don't know. I posted today on Facebook, and I stand by this. This has really been on my mind lately about how nobody knows what they're doing. Not a single person knows what the hell they're doing. We're all making it up as we go. We're just winging it through life. And there is something so amazingly freeing about being able to admit that.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to agree with you. I think at the end of the day, we're just born into the environment that we're born into, and we just make the best of our... I heard somebody talking about how helpless humans are when they're born now as compared to any other animal today, which I've heard that before for sure. But like, again, when you start thinking about that, it's like, I do think that makes us different in some regard. So I don't know if I agree with that 100%, because like the essence of existence is that you just kind of make it up as you go. But like, at least like we also have society to help guide us. We do. And, elaborate. What do you? What spoke to you about that so much?
Oh man, just like looking around at
that it's futile.
I don't think it's futile. No, I don't think it's futile. Yeah. It's just funny to me that when something happens, a lot of times we always look to somebody else to be like, oh shit, what do we do? But we're all just making it up as we go, man. We're all just trying to get through life, doing the best we can with what we have and what we're dealt. But
I will say that as I get older, when I wake up in the mornings, I do feel like it feels more like I've been presented with a set of obstacles and goals to accomplish today.
Yeah.
And
it's not a bad thing, though.
No. I don't think it's a bad thing.
No.
I kind of like that, to be honest. Give some structure to things, and you just kind of. I've very much in the past, it definitely into my 30s, even my late 30s. This has been a big motto of mine: just take one thing at a time.
Yeah.
If you don't know what to do and you're lost out there, and you feel like everything's overwhelming and it looks like a giant mountain in front of you, my motto is pick one thing today that you can work on. You don't even have to fix that thing. But just pick one thing and keep working, and you get that one thing done, then you go on to the next one. And you build off of that, you know?
Sure. And it's different, too, when you have kids and you have other human beings that depend on you.
Oh, sure. There's definitely a kick in the ass that comes with all that. It's hey, I got to do this now.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? I have to. I don't have a choice, But, even I've found myself in spots where I feel like it just looks like it's too much,
Mm-hmm. Nope.
Procrastination's bad to get you in that situation.
It is, man. It is. Procrastination, like dealing with mental health issues, can lead to procrastination that gets you into a mess. It's just life is hard, but life is awesome at the same time.
Yeah, you got about. Me and Ryder, my youngest boy, were having this conversation yesterday on our way back from Asheville. He goes to a synth club over there at Asheville in West Asheville at a kava bar.
Yeah.
So I went and had some kava last night with some kratom. I don't think that is bullshit. I'm sorry.
So
You ever had kava or kratom?
I've not. I'm totally in the dark. I have no idea what any of them are. I'm an uncultured swine.
Kava makes you. Well, number one,
I'm drinking.
Number one, don't do them because it's probably not good for your one kidney.
Okay, yeah, that's probably true.
That being said, so kava is supposedly both of them taste like crap, though.
Okay.
So what they're basically trying to do is make these terribly awful substances taste like something different. Like I had like a kava sour or something last night.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it like supposed to be some kind of like alcohol substitute?
No.
Or...
Well, this kava bar is trying to peddle it like that. Which, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the kava bar is cool if you're into that kind of thing.
Sure.
Maybe I just don't get it or whatnot. But Kava's supposed to make you kind of feel relaxed and social.
Okay.
And then kratom is supposed to make you feel kind of energized and
So are they like psychotropics or?
No, they're like, it's like some of those, you know how like those
Delta
people,
8s or something?
No, like people, you know how people in the jungle like chew leaves or whatever, and then somebody finds out about it and figures out a way to make it like a commercial venture
Okay, gotcha.
in the United States. It's the latest version of that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But Kava, I guess, has been sold in that form for a long time, and it does have some relaxing kind of. I would equate it to kind of like a CBD type of feeling or whatever.
But it tastes like shit.
If you can eat the raw powder and it makes your tongue numb and you kind of feel.
Ooh, you're called you Stevie Wonder.
Hey man, these studio lights kill my eyes.
Yeah.
And with all this smoke, I think it's all these allergies and stuff. Honestly, and I was telling you before. Like, I've become so addicted to wearing it because I work out in the
sun all the
time. Are you like this? You work outside a lot too, don't you?
Yeah, I have to wear safety glasses, and I do have some that are sunglasses like that, and then I have some that are just like mildly tinted.
Well, I've worn them for so many years working out.
Yeah,
that like, I honestly even like fluorescent lights.
Yeah,
I can't go in our office. Still has the old fluorescent light fixtures or whatever.
Right.
I can't even do it in there. I wear them in the office when I turn the lights on.
Really?
Yeah, it just hurts my eyes. It's like my retinas just can't take it anymore.
Have you been to the eye doctor recently?
I need to go, honestly. I've always had really good eyesight, though, so I don't really have a reason. Like, I still see very well.
You may have, like, a blue light sensitivity or something.
Something another, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to probably go. That's a good idea, actually.
Thanks, Veer. I'm digging the vibes, too. This is just a very informal. We're just shooting the shit, man. Just hanging out. We don't have any guests. We're just not really talking any local politics, not really talking anything. We're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Just enjoying the evening, because it's been a super crazy busy week for me. I've worked every day, and you've got a million things going all the time.
Well, in spring and summer ramping back up. I noticed that, man, I was in Asheville. I've been in Asheville the last out of the past 5 days, I've been in Asheville three days, which is rare for me now. And I'm going back tomorrow, actually. But man, everybody was out. The traffic was horrendous in Asheville today.
Really?
Oh my God. I was over there this weekend. Wasn't nearly as bad. Asheville, by and large, is not very. It's not doesn't have a whole lot of traffic on the weekends for a tourist town.
It really doesn't. But man,
dude, during the week,
9 and 5 o'clock, man, the rush hours are.
Dude, it reminds me of freaking like Charlotte. It's that bad.
Yeah,
it is that. But that. Can we please get done with that out 26 to Airport
that be
Road?
Amazing.
My God, it seems like they've been working on it for.
They have for years.
Since we got out of high school.
I know.
Am I the only one that feels like that?
No, it's been forever since they've been working on that. And
I thought that one where they were doing the connecting to Burnsville and then from Burnsville to Spruce Pine was bad, but good Lord. Well, I felt like that took an eternity.
With all of the nonsense that happened, all of the brouhaha that happened with the construction companies taking forever, trying to milk the county dry, whatever the situation was, they still finished that quicker than Asheville is finished that stretch of 26.
Right. Well, part of it is that Asheville's never been able to agree on that I-26 connector through town there, which that's the number one problem.
Yeah.
Through town needed to be. They could have done this before Asheville blew up like it has.
Yeah.
But they didn't. The Asheville's terrible. There's all people throwing, city planning. If you want to know an example of what not to do, when it comes to city planning. I'm not talking about politics. I'm not talking about anything else.
Just infrastructure.
Just infrastructure stuff. They have done terrible. What was it like 2 years ago? Like the entire South Slope was without water for a month or something like that. You think we got water problems. They got bad water problems, dude.
I know a friend of mine who lives in Boone. Like and he he's just a friend of mine. He doesn't really have any ties to Spruce Pine, but it's funny because he asked me one day, he was like, what is going on with y'all's water? Because I don't know, he wound up in one of the groups, the town Spruce Pine groups or whatever, and it was just like one water alert after another.
Yeah.
He was like, dude, what's going on with the water? So now for a while I tagged him in all of them. I was like, yeah, they're at it again. Oh man.
One thing that we are lucky to have in Spruce Pine is we have a very our source of water, the Beaver Creek Reservoir, is in great shape apparently, and will be for
good.
Is projected to be for a long time. So that's the one good thing. We have a good source of water.
Good.
You know, and I do. You know, I was at the town council. You know, Danny. No, not Danny. What's his name? Good grief. Anyway, one of the guy that oversees the water and sewer systems, did say that in terms of just maintenance, like in terms of you know, one of the biggest things is like having to replace the pumps and stuff like that from time to time. We apparently have pretty much all brand new pumps in all of our pump stations.
I did hear that. Yeah, they rebuilt everything recently.
Yes, and then they actually rebuilt the old pumps that they took out at a fraction of the cost of what it would take to buy a new one, and now have them on reserve. So those things are good. You know, the infrastructure as a whole, I think, just needs a pretty good revamp. And I was talking with somebody this weekend, and I wanted to ask you about this. Yeah. You know, it's came up taxing, you know, in some form or fashion, taxing Sibelco and courts for, you know, how the quantity of
export
stuff.
Tax
an export tax of sorts.
For the county. I'm all for it.
I can agree, but I also understand where Alex was coming from.
Oh, I do too. Yeah. I see both sides of the argument, but
Alex is his kind of point of view is that, you know, you don't want to look the gift horse in the mouth necessarily.
You don't, but man, I mean,
they can't go anywhere.
They can't, and other than jobs and a few contracts, what do they contribute to the area? You know?
Well, they sponsor pretty much everything. They do your random times, you know, your random stuff. Like they replace all the electrical stuff at the tennis courts.
Quartz Court may have. Sibelco
is not so
generous. Uniman used to do that stuff. Uniman was great for that. They really were. But Sibelco,
not so much.
No.
Well, what do you think about instead of just automatically stepping towards taxation? I wonder how many big asks there have been of Sibelco or Quartz Corporation. Like, hey, the county needs to upgrade this water infrastructure. The town needs to upgrade this water infrastructure. I know for a fact Quartz Corporation gets water from the town, probably just for domestic potable water and stuff like that, because they take the rest of it out of the river, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Well, I assume. I don't know a whole lot. I don't know much about Quartz Corp's operation.
Gotcha. But Sibelco does.
Yeah. The Quartz plant, which is not operational anymore, they had both, you know, their own water and waste plant system, and they did get some water from the city also.
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, what if you made some? Let's just say just take for instance. I'm just spitballing. I'm not trying to say anything because you got to think these things through on a intense level. But let's just say we approached Sibelco and Quartz Corporation and said, hey, look, we will provide you with water at a discounted rate or for free for a certain amount of time. Or within a usage limit. If you will contribute, we need you to contribute to help us fix the sewer, like the sewer and water system in town. What do you think? What do you think about approaching with big asks such as that? I'm not saying it has to just be that, but like, what about
using that as an example?
Right. What about if we wanted to, if we finally got the clearance from CSX and all them to actually do something down by the river, like a river walk or something, for that project? Hey, we want you to help us out with this and incentivize that in some fashion or form.
I mean, should we have to incentivize it? Because, I mean, the minerals are here. The mineral deposits are here, and they're raping our land. Well, it's private property, but you get what I mean.
Right.
I don't know that we should... Yeah, you're right, Veer. They do pull their own water. They only have discharge regulations to worry about, which they are good about. I will say that. They are good about their discharge, especially at Schoolhouse. I can't speak for Quartz Corp. I don't even know that we should do a big ask in exchange for an incentive. I think maybe the town should just come to them and be like, hey, you guys export this product that is mined, processed, and shipped out of here, out of these counties. We don't want to tax you, but instead of taxation, maybe we could reach an agreement where you donated X amount of dollars to do this project, that project, whatever. I don't know, man. I'm spitballing. I don't know that. I don't know.
I've been thinking a lot about this.
Yeah.
The more we have talked about this, and you've talked about this, and everything, the more I think that we need to work on that.
Sure.
You know, and what Alex was saying was that the taxation is not just as simple as, hey, we're just taxing it. Because do you tax golf course sand at the same rate that you tax high purity quartz?
I have no idea. I don't know.
I know you get into the weeds real quick when you start talking about tax. How do you tax it? Because you don't want to tax. Let's say they're taking out, if you tax it by the pound,
or by the ton, it would
by
be
the ton.
yeah.
By the ton.
By
Okay,
the ton.
fair. So if you do it by the ton, well, obviously they're going to be shipping way more tonnage of sand, golf course sand, than they are of high purity quartz, right? Because they basically melt that down into those,
crucibles. Well, it depends on the profit margins too. There's a much higher profit margin
Sure.
on high purity quartz than
Right.
there is the golf
So, I
course
mean,
sand.
obviously that is going to have to be set up differently
Yeah.
when taxation-wise. So I can see how that's a complex issue, like a very complex issue.
Man, everything's a complex issue. I'm the older I get, the more I see nothing's black and white. There's so much nuance in the world, and I really think that we have gotten away from nuance, and people see so much.
I agree.
They see so much in the terms of it's black and white, hard lines are drawn, and man, that's just not the case. Life is much more nuanced than that. Opinions are much more nuanced than that. Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
It's been a super long day.
I was looking up
What you got?
the estimated total value of the Sibelco Corporation.
Okay. No, so we would be Sibelco North America.
Okay, Sibelco
Yeah.
North America. Do you have any idea what else they mine besides in America?
Just us. We're the 4 plants here in Spruce Pine is the only Sibelco plants in North America. We are Sibelco North America.
Let's see.
Spruce Pine is it, as far as I'm aware of. As far as I know.
Let's see. This is actually from their own website. Let's see, North America. Strong 2022 H1 result, which reflects sustained increasing. Hold on, it says it down here.
You're good.
This is Euro, but and this is Sibelco North America. Sibelco generated revenue of, in euros, 973 million.
Wow. Almost
That's
$1 billion.
that's in the
Almost $1
first
billion
quarter
euros.
of 2022.
Wow.
So they're pulling out, basically they're
$4 billion
swinging $4 billion a year.
euros a year. Wow.
Which, I mean, you're talking 3.5
Right.
in American
dollars, yeah.
somewhere in that neighborhood.
Jeez.
Jeez, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe they could probably throw us a couple million to fix some problems. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I think this has to somehow be visited at some point. And I think we can be friendly, but you don't want to just be like, hey.
Right.
You know. You want to be good neighbors.
Absolutely.
And
I
you
mean,
want to harbor business and have a good relationship with those companies moving forward. But I think it's only fair that, like, we're not going to sit here and just,
Yeah. And, I do see that they do use local vendors for things. They use local contractors. They use local trucking companies. They do provide a lot of jobs, and
right.
they provide a lot of income for families. And I certainly don't want to bite the hand that feeds me, but at the same time, I definitely think they could absolutely give a lot more to the community that they extract their black gold from.
Here's a good way you can start using some of those web pages, some of those Facebook pages for positive. Mm-hmm. You start putting, I think everybody's putting the pressure on the wrong people. How about putting a little bit of pressure on Sibelco and Quartz Corporation?
Corporations.
I mean, nobody can argue with that.
No, I wouldn't think so. I wouldn't think so. I think government and corporations should be pressured equally because they both work in tandem.
God. 3.5 billion a year.
Yeah.
Billion.
With a B. That's an insane amount. Like to me that's an unfathomable amount of money.
That's 3,000 million.
It is.
Good God, that is an unfathomable amount of money, though. Like, honestly.
Right? So buy our merch.
Buy our merch.
Shop Hollercast.com.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But I've had that conversation with quite a few people lately here.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. I don't know where you go with that, but
I don't either.
It's interesting to explore.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's very interesting.
But don't you think that would make a much better use than going after people personally and other small businesses
100%.
and things? You know?
100%.
Let's put the pressure on where we can actually make a dent.
Going after people personally does nothing of value and is not constructive in any manner whatsoever. No. All you're doing is just it's destructive. It's not constructive.
And it's just like, quite honestly, sometimes I'm just like, you guys are like shitty people. Like, why do you have to why do you put things that way?
Yeah.
Like, why do you have to have just a crappy attitude about everything? It's like you're just finding something to complain about.
Yeah. Well, that goes back to my statement that everybody's winging it and making it up as they go, and some people are doing a better job than others.
I guess. I don't know. I just look at people like that. I'm like, you must be miserable.
A lot of people are, man.
You must be really miserable, you know? If all you're thinking is the negativity and all that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like not that, you know, also, you don't have to point out everything that you think is shitty, too, you know? Fair to point out politicians. I have to say.
People in positions of power.
Yeah. If you're in politics, politics is a blood sport. And
it is.
And there's a certain amount of that you're just going to have to get used to, you know? But that's different from personal insults and
ad hominem attacks.
I personally would never go after somebody's business either. That's like going after somebody's way of feeding themselves.
Sure.
You know?
Sure. You go after someone's livelihood.
Mm-hmm. That's not fair.
That's not how you
wouldn't like that if it came back.
Well, that's not how you win an argument either. That's coercion. I mean, to some degree, that's coercion. And if you're coercing someone into your way of thinking or your way of being, your mode of being, you're not changing their mind. They still believe whatever it is they believed before, but they're lying to you because you've coerced them.
I'm a firm believer that good ideas beat out bad ideas.
Sure.
And there has to be a civil discourse that goes along with that. Civil being the primary.
I mean,
well, it don't even have to be. It can be heated. You're right.
It can be heated, but there's still no room for ad hominem.
Yeah, agreed.
And personal attacks. You attack the argument, not the person.
Yeah.
Vera, you're right. Corporations are people in the U.S. and they're tax entities too. And I'm sorry that you're guilty of being miserable, man. That sucks. That really does.
Oh, I'm guilty of being miserable.
Sure,
sometimes.
I am too, to some degree. I try to be happy though, man. Happiness is an inside job. It really is.
You can say that again.
It is. I cannot rely on other people, other things, other stuff to make me happy. My baseline has to be happy. Has to be.
I think I try to keep it that way.
I do. I'm really big into stoicism. Really big into stoicism.
You follow the Daily Stoic thing?
I do.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yep.
I'm into that.
Yep.
I'm into that.
Yeah, man. I cannot control what other people do, but I can control how I act and how I react to their actions or the world around me at large. That's all I can control is how I react to it.
When Marcus Aurelius, like a big Stoic.
He was.
Yeah, I like a lot of his quotes.
I do too. I'm big into stoicism. It's a great way to stay in shape.
Great way to stay in shape.
Dude, I've quoted Family Guy all day at work, and like no one at work gets it, and it's hilarious because I keep saying all this stupid shit.
I saw this this clip that I had never seen of Family Guy where Peter gets them all on a moped, and they're like, just drive out of town. They're driving like through New York or whatever, and then they're like into DC or whatever. And Quagmire's like, or not Quagmire, but
Joe.
No, Cleveland. Cleveland's like, Peter, what are you doing? He's like, nothing. We're just going to the Capitol. Just going to the Capitol. I said, Peter, what are you doing? Dude, and he's dressed up like the QAnon shaman. That's pretty funny. So just going to take back, freedom, loving America.
Oh, it was Joe. Yeah, it was Joe.
Was it Joe?
Yeah,
okay.
It was Joe.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man. Family Guy's brilliant for a lot of that stuff.
They are. I still say that South Park is my favorite social commentary.
Oh, sure.
Those guys get everything right.
Yes, they do.
They do. They really do.
Trey Parker and Matt Stone should be protected.
100%. 100%. I think they should run for office. Like, I would support a Parker Stone presidency.
Oh.
I would.
That'd be interesting for sure. Definitely be a wild ride to go along with. But I do think they have some of the most brilliant social commentary out there.
Yeah, they absolutely
and
do.
They do it on a weekly. They produce those episodes
3 days.
Yeah, in 3 days.
72 hours.
And what a brilliant way to do it, though, because you're really keeping up with like current. In order to do that, you have to keep up with like current events and trends and all this type of stuff.
Yep.
And how brilliant some of it is crazy. I tell you, when I fell in love with South Park, I mean, I watched South Park or whatever, but when they did when it was George Bush and John Kerry, and it was the douche and the turd sandwich.
Yeah.
You've been given the right to choose between a douche and a turd.
Dude, they're brilliant.
And then P. Diddy showed up and threatened to kill everybody. Vote or die.
What does that even mean? What do you think it means?
It's so brilliant. So brilliant.
Trudeau versus Stone. Come on, buddy. Not today, guy. I'm not your guy, buddy. I'm not your buddy, guy.
Have they done some? I haven't watched South Park the last couple seasons. I just got out of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they've done it all.
Oh, I bet that some of the Trudeau stuff has to be really good.
It's hilarious. So they had a Trump in Canada too. That was hilarious.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He built a wall around them, and all the Canadians left. It just showed him like just dancing. It was great. Oh man, they're brilliant. I love them. They've been spot on from day one.
Yeah,
they have been spot on about everything. And we talked a lot about we've talked a lot about how much the Simpsons have predicted. Dude, how much has Family Guy predicted? They called all kinds of the Kevin Spacey thing. They called that. What's up, Marissa? How's it going? But yeah, they called oh gosh, Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah,
they called that.
Yep.
I love it when Stewie runs out and is like, "Help! I've been trapped in Kevin Spacey's basement." And then Kevin Spacey, he got embroiled in this like controversy surrounding. He had some accusations from like underage boys, and then he's just like, to address it, he was like, "I'm gay." Oh well, I'm gay, and then it all went away, and I'm like, wait a minute, what?
That's not good.
No. No, it's not.
Happy Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month. Yeah, it is Pride Month.
Happy Pride Month to our brethren. Long time coming for them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad that's not a thing anymore. As much as there's all this craziness surrounding Pride Month and all that stuff, the way we used to operate around that, it was wild back in the day.
Man, the way we've operated around everything has been wild at one point or another, and we're doing better. We're doing better. I'm fairly optimistic about the way things are going. Really, I am.
I had this discussion with my youngest son yesterday. We talked all the way back from Asheville. We talked a lot about this stuff, about Pride Month and where we've come. As much as there's all this whatever you want to call it, woke or whatever going on, I have to say
Just the political divide.
That I'm very much glad that there's a push to be more compassionate.
Sure.
I think behind all this, and everybody has their own, like, it's been dragged into the political sphere and made divisive and whatever. But I do think there's something to be said for everybody just having a push to be kinder, more compassionate people overall. I think that's a good thing for the universe as a whole, for our work, for our society.
Absolutely. Oh yeah, yeah.
And now it's just like, if you're not careful, you'll get like, oh my God, Mr. Potato Head's gay.
So we have a tendency to overcorrect and take things too far to some degree.
I think so
we
too.
do. We also, it's very interesting to me how much we do that. And it's like, we don't have to. We can just let everybody live their life how they want to, as long as they're not hurting anybody and they're consenting adults. I may not agree with everything that everybody does. But
sure.
Who cares, man?
That's my libertarian leanings right there.
It's none of my business what people do with their, with their genitals.
Yes. Or any other part of their body, for that matter.
What they put in their body, it's not of my business.
Right.
Unless it directly affects me.
I think here's where it goes. Like, that's a political stance. That government should never infringe on your rights to do with your body as you choose, so long as you're not infringing on anybody else's rights or harming anybody else.
Absolutely.
But I think, you know, where was I going with that? Now I completely lost my train of thought.
That's
God
right.
dang it.
I've done that like 5 times.
God dang it. Man. No, I had a good point.
It's all good, dude.
But I guess what I was getting at is that's a political stance.
It is.
But I think what people want,
does it have to be?
But what happens now is people want you to validate their lifestyle with your words and your
right.
You know what I mean? I don't have to agree with your lifestyle.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
In any way, shape, fashion, or form, nor do I have to participate in it. And that shouldn't. But that doesn't mean I think the government. I don't think the government should do that either. You know,
I don't think the government should interfere in people's lifestyles at all. But here's the thing: just because I don't agree with your lifestyle doesn't mean I hate you. And I don't disagree with people.
No, I'm not talking hate at all.
No, I know that. I know.
I'm just saying,
right.
You know.
No, we're just talking, man.
I think everybody wants you to. I heard somebody say this. I think maybe it was Dave Chappelle that said this.
Yeah.
And he's exactly right. It's like, to what degree do I have to participate in your self-image?
100%.
And people, it's not like silence is complicity now, right? And it's like
silence is violence.
Silence is violence. And I think I fundamentally disagree with that.
I absolutely do too.
I think it is absolutely your right to be silent on whatever thing that you want to be silent on, just as so much as it's your right to speak out on it. Mm-hmm. You know? But everybody wants like validation now, you know?
They do. And my validation does not come from other people. Mm-hmm. I don't want people to validate me and my feelings, and I don't want the responsibility of validating other people's feelings and other people.
Yeah.
That's too much pressure to put on. That's not fair. That's not fair to put that responsibility and that burden on me. Mm-hmm. I will be compassionate. I will treat you with respect and dignity, no matter who you are, what you do in life, what your identity is. I don't care. I'm going to treat you like a human being because you are.
Exactly.
But don't put don't put that pressure on me to it's just not fair to put that kind of pressure on somebody else to validate your identity or anything about you. Mm-hmm. That comes from within yourself.
I agree.
That comes from within.
I agree.
Discipline comes from within.
Discipline comes.
That's another great.
I tell you what's sad about the whole
Park quote.
I tell you what's sad about Pride Month now. It's like all it is like one giant controversy or whatever. It's like, I hope ever you're comfortable. I hate these people, and it's like here what we're missing in all this is that lesbian, gay, and bisexual people actually had a terrible time for a very long time, and I think it's sad that there's all this controversy that you look past what the LGBT community really has had to go through and what they've had to endure, you know?
Yeah, and going to something that Veer said, late-stage compassion is a good replacement for late-stage capitalism. Speaking of capitalism, what I see Pride Month to me now, unfortunately, and it's sad that I maybe it's not a good thing that I see it this way, but I see it as just corporations pandering to a group of a demographic.
Oh, for sure.
For profit. Pride Month to me now is just a profit-driven event as far as the corporations go and our society at large.
Yeah.
That's not good either. But that's what corporations do. They use everything for profit because corporations are profit-driven, which I get it. Corporations have to. Their sole
answer
purpose
to their shareholders.
Yeah, their sole purpose in existence is to make a profit.
Right.
But I don't necessarily like the idea of using civil rights issues and social issues as a way to pander to get.
I agree.
Politicians do it too, but
I heard a perspective this week that I heard, and I've largely been, as you say, I'm largely agnostic on the whole like Bud Light. Oh, I don't like Bud Light anyway, and I really am not going to base any. I don't know. I just think I find those types of controversies to be ridiculous in the first place.
Very much so.
But I heard somebody say, and I kind of agree with this. They were like, I feel sorry for Bud Light because all that was just they made 6 cans.
Yeah, I know.
It was some junior level marketing executive at Bud Light decided they were going to have a marketing campaign and support this influencer or whatever, and give her some cans with her face on it or whatnot, and she could promote it or whatever. And now it's blew up into this giant like global firestorm where nobody's buying their product and all that stuff.
Well, I look at it a little bit differently. I guess my opinion may be a little more controversial, but I question Dylan Mulvaney's authenticity in all of this.
Oh, for sure.
I think, really do. I
question a lot of those influencer types.
I do too. I think a lot of it's done for clout, and I don't know. I don't know.
And not just the trans ones either.
No, all of them.
Every influencer that I could think you could make a very strong case that 90% of influencers are full of absolute shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's my general opinion on that. But yeah,
I agree.
I mean, come on, just take a look at it. All of it is being done for just
clout
to
and
pander
money.
And to
clout and profit.
Yeah,
clout and profit. But no, I don't drink beer. I guess my takeaway is maybe it's a good thing that people drink less beer because alcohol in large quantities is bad for your health.
Can't agree with that.
I mean, maybe that's the silver lining. I really, it's nothing to me. I don't drink beer.
I did see where Bud Light was buying back expired products if you couldn't sell it now.
That's interesting.
Boy, they've taken a hit though.
Have they?
I think it's like 20. I think they took like a 26% hit in sales.
Wow.
Over this, which I mean, in the big scheme of things, that's a lot for Bud Light. That's a lot. But again, I kind of feel sorry because I'm sure nobody. This is probably one of these things. They do these things all the time where you can get these, these commemorative cans or whatever. They'll reach out to small groups like that. That's a whole set. I'm sure that's a whole department at large corporations like that. That's like small market advertising or niche market advertising. Mm-hmm. Companies do that all the time.
Right.
And what they were trying to do is go to what they considered probably, or this person considered probably a niche market.
Yeah.
But they did not realize the kind of firestorm and the can of worms that they were opening up.
I disagree. I think they did because there's also the adage that, any publicity is good publicity.
You could be right.
And stirring up controversy could, also be
that's a distinct possibility. I'll give you that.
Stirring up controversy could also, drive profits up.
Right.
But with every idea that someone comes up with, it may work, it may not.
I wonder if like every trans person is just like buying Bud Light like crazy right now.
I don't know. Or is every? I don't know. I can't say. I won't use sweeping generalizations. I don't know. I doubt it because I doubt that every trans person drinks alcohol because who knows? They may not.
Good point. Good point.
But
every redneck definitely does though. Well, that's not true either, actually. But,
no, that's not true either. It's almost like generalizations are just generalizations. I know. This is, as much as I like the informative podcast where we have people on and interviewing, man, I really like just sitting and talking and hanging out too, because this is where I think the real conversations happen, because this is just regular conversations that everybody has. I know. And
you know what's funny? I was talking with Laura about this the other day. You know what's kind of interesting is it's taken me and you some time to get some real chemistry together, I feel like. Like when we first started, because we hadn't really hung out around each other in a long time. Yeah. You know, I've known you pretty much my entire life, or at least starting to high school for sure.
Since high school. Yeah, we've known each other since high school.
We've known each other forever, but...
yeah, it's been...
Yeah, it's been fun kind of trying to... And even with Jimmy, like I didn't know Jimmy super well. Right. I knew Jimmy, but I didn't really, know him super well. So everybody thinks, anybody that thinks we've been like
lifelong friends, we've really not. I mean, we've been friends for a long time, but, after high school, we lost touch and we reconnected.
Like a lot of people do.
Sure, sure. That's life, man. Life finds a way.
Life finds a way. Malcolm.
Yeah.
Dr. Malcolm.
Dr. Malcolm. Dr. Ian Malcolm. Thank you. I'm so glad you got that reference.
Oh, I love that. He has so many good quotes in that movie.
He does.
Well, he's like, and you slap it on a lunchbox, and you're selling it, and you're too busy wondering if you could that you didn't think about whether you should.
Yes.
Love that.
Oh, my God. Jurassic Park.
I wonder if he, like...
Awesome.
This is another conversation I think I had the other day with somebody. I wonder if he's always had that type of personality, that he just brings that. I can honestly say I don't think I've ever watched a movie, or at least I haven't noticed Jeff Goldblum in a movie before Jurassic Park.
No, I hadn't either. Was The Fly before Jurassic Park? I feel like it was.
Was it?
I think so. Don't quote me on that, but I think it was. But still, I didn't know about The Fly until later on.
Right.
Like, no, Jeff Goldblum's introduction.
Tim Drum was a huge fan of that Fly movie, wasn't he?
Very much so. My introduction to Jeff Goldblum was in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I used to have a picture in my bathroom when I lived in Johnson City when I was going to ETSU. Mm-hmm. Like, and you sit down on the toilet, and you looked directly at a print-off picture of Jeff Goldblum, and it was that picture of him from The Fly like this. And it said, Jeff Goldblum is watching you poop.
I like your ones in here, too.
Yeah.
5 stars, would poop here again. I love that. I think that's hilarious. Yeah, but I've always loved Jeff Goldblum. I think he's such an interesting guy.
He is. He's a good actor.
I'd like to see him on a podcast. I wonder if he's done any podcasts.
I'm sure he has.
I'm sure he has.
Certainly. Every celebrity's done at least one podcast.
Right.
I mean, like, Kanye West's career is tanking. We could probably get him on the show.
That's true. We should reach out. Kanye, what are your thoughts about rural America?
I don't know, man. I do dope shit. What does that have to do about anything? That doesn't mean anything.
I really think that guy... First of all, you cannot deny his creative talent.
Sure. He's an eccentric.
He's a very eccentric, very creative, absolute...
I'm not a fan of his music. I don't like his music. It's not my thing.
Right.
But he has a large enough audience that there's something there.
Yeah. Man, it's just though that Graduation album was just iconic in my book.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not a big hip hop guy though.
No.
I'm not a huge hip hop guy, but
the farthest I delve into hip hop is like Snoop Dogg, Dre.
Yeah.
I used to like Eminem a little bit, but I don't know. I kind of grew out of that. It was the shock value of Eminem kind of wore off, and I was like, eh.
I think Eminem, if he was in the public eye as much as Kanye West has been in these years since his come to, since 2000, basically.
Right.
If he would have been in the public eye like Kanye West is, he would have been in the same exact.
I agree. Probably on the opposite end of that spectrum, though. Where Kanye went like super right-wing, crazy conspiracy theorist, I think that
Eminem would go the opposite
direction. Yeah, that's why I see that.
He kind of did, I think, there for a while.
He did, and it was obvious that it was like political.
He had a thing with Trump. He was going back and forth with him.
Dude, he has to have beef with everybody.
Yeah,
that's just Eminem's. That's what rappers do. They have beef with people.
Yeah,
that whole concept doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't really make a lot of sense to me.
I've never understood that either.
I mean, it's the public at large loves a good controversy. They love a good fight. So, I mean, I could see that.
Do you think that's like largely a mechanism just to like stay in the public eye, stay in the news?
I think so. I think to stay relevant. Yeah, he did hug Elton. I would hug Elton. Elton's a legend, man. Elton John is a legend.
Yeah.
I was actually singing Rocket Man at work today.
Rocket Man. Yeah, he is a legend.
God, yes.
Dude, how about Taylor Swift murdering like 3...
Who'd she kill?
Not literal murder.
I don't know, man.
Murdering tour dates is what she's doing.
Don't keep up with this celebrity.
Let me tell you something. That gal, man, she's been on this like world tour or whatever. She does 3 hours a night, like 30-some songs in a set. People, her fans are going to the concert in diapers so they don't have to go out and pee.
Now, I did see that. That's okay. Come on. Like,
she's performing in the rain.
That's cool. I'm on board with that. I mean,
think what you want about Taylor Swift, but you know what she does? She wakes up in the morning, puts her pants on one leg at a time, and proceeds to make absolute pop bangers. That's all she does. That's all she does. And she is a hell of a performer.
She is a good performer. Yeah, she's absolutely a good performer.
Just in terms, I see why people, like Aaron Rodgers got caught like, banging out to some everybody's like giving him up the road for about being a huge Taylor Swift fan. I like it.
Yeah. I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan, but just because her music doesn't speak to me doesn't mean that her performance art isn't great. She's a fantastic performer.
Well, I definitely don't sit around listening to,
No. We're never getting back
Tim
together.
Dillon said that she's the what did he say? Something like she's the cough medicine for the lovesick middle-aged lady or something like that. Like, definitely not listening to Taylor Swift for those reasons for sure. But man, there's a couple of those songs you can't. They're so catchy, dude. She makes the catchiest songs in the universe.
You think so?
Yeah.
They're pretty catchy.
I sent you that catchy song the other day. I told you
You did. Yeah, we need to work on that.
Yeah, we do.
We need to schedule a time.
I like catchy songs.
I do too. Hopefully everybody does.
I'm a pop music fan.
I like pop music. I like a lot of different types. I mean, dude, my Apple Music, if you ride in the car with me, it could be anywhere from like Scandinavian black metal to prog rock, jazz, classical. I mean, it's really all over the place. It really is all over the place.
I think people say that a lot, but I do think that's probably true more than now that we have access to like that. You got to understand the access to music like we have.
Dude, it's
right
insane.
Now, it was not always that way, even within our lifetime.
Right. No, it wasn't. I mean,
dude, we couldn't. If you didn't have the CD when we were growing up, you were SOL.
I know. I still have my old, like from high school, my giant binder CD case with all my CDs in it.
I do too.
It's up in my studio.
Yeah.
I still have it. Still have all the CDs. You're right. It is. It's called pop for a reason. Pop is short for popular music.
Yep, that's true.
But I listen to a lot of everything, man. It's a mixed bag. I go on kicks. Like I went through the Ghost kick for a while. I listen to them for rehearsal purposes and practice purposes, but right now I'm going through I've went back to like 90s to 2000 alternative music, indie music. I'm kind of in that area right now.
Talk to Laura. She knows that is her jam right there.
That's awesome, dude. That's what I'm on right now.
I love that.
Yeah.
I loved like Semisonic and
Third Eye Blind.
Yeah, Third Eye Blind, all that. Yeah, dude. There was a ton of good 90s bands, man.
Yeah.
Ton of good ones. Ton of good ones. I was a big Everclear fan, too.
I love Everclear.
Although Art, I think, is an absolute butthole.
Matt is currently really digging the bluesy gothic country. What in the hell is that? What is bluesy gothic country? I don't know. What's going on with that?
Gothic country.
Bluesy gothic country.
Dude, Jelly Roll is taking over the earth, dude.
For real.
Yeah, that guy.
The radio was free. You're right, Veer. CDs, tapes, or records. Man, I wish I had a bunch of records. I don't. I need to start buying some records.
I've been trying to buy some of the ones that I really feel like I should have.
Yeah.
You know, I've still got my parents' old vinyl downstairs.
My sister, I think, has my mom and dad's old vinyls, a big box full of records. Yeah. I have one that it's framed up in my studio. It's an original print of Dark Side of the Moon from '73.
Oh, that's awesome.
With all the posters and stickers inside of it. Yeah, I framed it because, man, it's sick.
My dad had every Chicago album.
I love Chicago.
Oh, I did too, man.
I love Chicago. McGee, it must be in the know. I'm going to have to look that up. Speaking of Taylor Swift, have you seen the mashup of her and Tool doing Never Get Back Together with Stinkfist?
No.
Oh, my God. You need to look it up. I'm not going to play it because we'll get copyright strike, I'm sure. But it is freaking hilarious.
Really?
It is.
That's awesome.
It is. I'm a huge fan of mashups. If anybody likes mashups, you need to go check out Bill McClintock's channel.
Yeah, I saw you interview this guy.
Dude, he is a musical genius. Vickers does have some music. Jamie Vickers, I would argue, has probably the largest CD, tape, vinyl, like music media collection of anybody I know.
Yeah, Vickers he's a big music fan.
Serious music buff. He really
I appreciate that about him.
Too.
I need to go to that music trivia thing.
Yeah.
I need to go to the trivia, period. I love trivia, and it's like at 6 o'clock, I'm like rushing to try to make it to a restaurant or a bar and to get into that.
Man, you know? The way I look at it is, our lives are so hectic. Yeah, Jamie was a good vest. Jamie was a good vest.
Good vest.
Man, my evenings when I get home from work are my me time.
I know.
And as much as I want to go do social things, at the same time, I feel like I got to have my decompression Josh time where I just sit and veg out. I don't think about anything. I just decompress from the day. Yeah. And
fully agree.
If I didn't have that, I would probably lose my mind.
I usually come home after work, clean up the house a little bit. I'm a daily cleaner. I'm kind of a clean freak.
I am too.
I'm kind of a clean freak. I have to make my bed. Like, in order to go to sleep and feel like I'm ready for the next day, I generally need my house to be relatively clean.
Yep.
Like, everything kind of in its place, things tidied up, and that way, when I wake up in the morning, I feel like I start the day on on one. You know what I mean?
Right. I don't make my bed.
Start it fresh.
I don't make my bed. That's the one thing I don't do. No, I keep the rest of my house fairly spotless, but I don't make my bed.
I think sometimes I only make my bed because a lot of times I'll go on Discord or something with
right. It's behind you.
Yes.
So yeah, I get that.
I don't know. I want to create a good image for myself.
Sure.
It's kind of like setting the scene or whatnot.
I go into my bedroom for one or two reasons, and the bed's involved in both of them. Either I'm sleeping or, eating.
Fair enough.
There with a big block,
never eaten bad,
block
Josh.
Of cheese.
Are you a shower in the morning guy or shower in the evening guy?
It depends. It depends.
I've been both throughout my life, but I tend to go on streaks.
Yeah, you're right, Vera. Miners are known for being tired after work, and I work 12-hour shifts. And some days I come home and I am absolutely exhausted. I have worked. My job is either there's no in between. Either I'm working physically as hard as I possibly can for 12 hours straight, or I'm riding around on a piece of equipment just sitting in the air-conditioned cab. And there's no in between. So, but to answer your question and to expound off of that, now that I'm on days, I shower at night because I come home, I'm covered in sand, I'm covered in grit and grime, and I've sweated all day.
Dude, you sent us a video of you the other day. You were covered in head.
That was one of those days we had a power bump. The power went out at work for just a minute, and I was running the waste plant. And I've not ran the waste plant a whole lot, so I'm fairly inexperienced with it. I know enough. I kept it going, and I got it going back really quick, but I fought it all day, and it was just up and down stairs all day. I mean, just covered in mud, opening thickeners. It was awful. It was a nightmare day.
Dang.
But I made it through it, and I got home, and I showered, and it was great.
That's awesome.
Yes.
A way to work through the attrition.
That's what you got to do, man.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, we actually.
A little adversity never hurt a body.
No, man. That's how you
Makes
grow.
you stronger.
It does.
Yep.
That's how you grow. Adversity. You can't grow. You can't have personal development without adversity, whether it's physical or not.
Agreed.
Adversity is good for the soul. Now, too much adversity can be crushing.
Yeah.
And that's not good, too. Too much of anything is a bad thing, I think. That's just my philosophy.
I think so.
Life is all about balance, man.
I think you're right.
It's all about balance.
I'll be honest with you. I don't know that I could ever have too much A1 sauce, though.
Dude, I
mean, just have it, like hoard it. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Not have to eat it at once. But just hoard. Like I would have like a warehouse full.
A warehouse full of A1.
Oh yeah, I'm that big of a fan of A1.
Veer has to hose off over 6 hours pouring and 30 work. Hose off and get some antibiotic antibiotic shots.
Yep. Veer.
Oh my gosh.
Some of Veer's responses today in the group. You got to look. Have you see that?
No, I've not.
Oh, you got to go.
I largely I'm staying away from groups now, just because it's better for my.
Him and old MV got into it a little bit today. It'd be worth the read. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll check that out. The groups I've been staying out of largely recently because they're just it's better for my mental health and my state of mind to just.
I check it one time a day.
Okay.
That's been my rule.
I'm starting to really like Joe Rogan's philosophy. Don't read the comments.
Yeah, just don't read the comments.
Don't read the comments. Stay off social media. I go on social media now pretty much just to share stupid memes.
Yeah.
And I love that.
Snicker or that payday bar.
Oh, the Twix, the Tix bar.
Tix bar.
Oh my God, that's disgusting.
Where do you find all those?
Dude, I have a slew of places. People let me take nearly all groups. I have a slew of resources. I can't give out my sources.
I hear you.
No, there's a lot of pages. I'm on Reddit. A lot of meme pages on Reddit.
I'm a big fan of classic art memes on Facebook and Instagram. Have you ever listened? Have you ever been on there?
I've never checked them out, but I will.
They meme out like old,
That's amazing.
Classic works of art or whatnot. Oh, it's excellent. It's been going for years, and they've not run out of shit yet. So
it's amazing.
Yeah.
I need to check that out.
Yeah, I'm big. Yeah, you got to check that one out.
The food memes, a lot of it come from a page called Food in Places It Shouldn't Be.
Right.
A lot of the more risque, adult-themed memes come from a page called Gold Nugget. Then there's the
I follow one called the Return to Hell Starter Pack, and
I'm familiar with that. Yeah.
That one's pretty good.
And there's just a slew of different
dank memes,
dank
still memes.
Yeah. I follow dank memes.
That's the classic one there
for sure.
Hey, did you see the? I wanted to ask your opinion on that that Quest Pro, the virtual reality or AR goggles from Apple that they announced the other day. Did you see that?
No, I've not.
Oh my God, dude! Look, please, we need to pull this one up.
All right, Jamie, pull that up. Josh, pull that up.
Pull it up, Josh.
Okay, let's see here. So this is Apple's VR headset.
It's an AR headset, an augmented reality.
Oh, because they have to be different.
Yes, of course.
AR headset 2023.
I think it's called a.
Oh wow. Okay.
Apple, is it Quest?
Oh shit! I just closed out the tab.
Oh dang!
Hang on, I'll open it back.
It happens, brother.
Yeah. Apple AR headset. There it is.
Yeah, this thing is incredible, dude.
All right.
If this actually works in the right here, this is a good one right here. This video here. Maybe it'll probably show some of the videos. No. Go down and see if it actually shows Apple's.
What's up, Jimmy? Vision Pro is what Jimmy says. Jimmy's in the chat. Jimmy is in the chat.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd be here tonight, Jimmy. I wanted to ask you about this too. Vision, look it up. Yeah, go to like YouTube maybe and look it up if we can.
Oh, my terrible typing. I can't see what's going on over there, but
you can go to their official site too if you want. It's some of the videos I wanted you to see.
Right.
It's incredible.
All right, let's check it out here.
What'd you think about this, Jimmy?
Introducing Vision Pro. Oh, the more I scroll out. Okay, here we go. Let's see.
Oops.
Spatial computing. And it is a great way to stay in shape, Matt. I'm round. Round is a shape.
Jimmy says, so it's incredible. Definitely a first, Jim. But so look, that was the right there. So this is how you can control it
with your hands.
And it literally will turn your space into like you can control the screen. Apparently, you can bring your MacBook screen into it.
Dude,
go down a little bit more and see if it gives us some more. Yeah, look at it here. That was the one. Yeah, that one.
Spatial computing.
So, here we go.
Okay, the area of spatial.
See?
Wow.
And all of it's just right in front of you. But there's several other videos that I saw.
$3,500. Holy jeez.
So did I understand, Jimmy, is this coming out like...
Wow.
Like when are we talking this actually dropping as like a consumer product?
That's crazy. $3,500 for this. Huh. Let me look and see if they give a release date on the website here. Let me stop this whole video.
Laura, I like to wear my sunglasses at
Apple.
night. I like them.
Veer says it's out already.
Really?
Date. Vision. Apple's AR Pro has cheat sheet. Jimmy says next year. Veer says it's out already. Oh my gosh. Ads. The ads. Oh, South Park did a great episode about ads too. There was a ads are people.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah. Leslie, I said shut the hell up.
Yeah, I found this just absolutely wild. I wish you could find some of the actual videos. You need to have Twitter, dude. This is why Twitter's so good.
Let's just go to YouTube.
Yeah.
And Apple
Vision Pro.
All right, we'll watch the Wall Street tick.
The interior of an Infinity is thoughtfully designed to be
skip ads.
Introducing Apple Vision Pro. Vision Pro, Vision Pro, Vision Pro, Vision Pro.
Yes, Apple's mixed reality headset is now a reality. Here at the company's Cupertino campus, it just showed off the long-awaited reality headset.
The face computer, my term, not theirs, bridges virtual reality, where you're fully transported to a virtual world, with augmented reality, where you see virtual objects in your real world.
How cool is that?
Apple's calling it
spatial computing.
And yes, it
starts at $34.99.
Apple spent 45 minutes detailing how it works and what you can do with it.
Let me break it down for you in way less time. These are $3 lap goggles.
The headset looks like a pair of aluminum
I've watched
and glass
interviews with her
ski
before.
goggles.
She's so funny.
Basically these, but cooler and way more expensive.
It looks like ski
The front of the
goggles,
device has
though.
a screen so people can see your eyes when you're wearing it. Creepy, kinda. It looks way slimmer and lighter than Meta's Quest Pro. One of the big reasons for that, a cord from the headset attaches to this battery pack. Apple says the battery will last 2 hours. You can also plug it into an outlet to use it all day.
On the one hand, I'm excited not to wear a battery on my head. On the other hand, battery fanny packs.
There are no controllers like
No,
other
look,
VR headsets.
you just do
use your
this?
hands to navigate around. There are multiple
That I
cameras on
find
the
hard to
device too,
believe.
which help you see the real world.
Like, how do
with
you
digital
control it?
objects
So,
in it.
I mean,
The
it would
Apple
have to
Watch-like
be-
digital crown dial lets you get to the home screen and also controls how much of the virtual world you see. You can even use the cameras to capture spatial
it's all good,
3D
Veer.
videos
No
and
worries.
photos.
It's easy to capture a spatial photo or video with just the press of a button.
If you're wondering how you log in, iris scan.
It
with
does
optic
look
ID.
ridiculous to
Apple
be
says your
worn.
eye scans
It
are
does.
kept on the device.
So what do you
Oh,
do
it
once
has
you've
your
got that
eye
on your head
scan.
and all that other stuff on your body? Well, Apple showed off a few experiences.
Surprisingly, a lot of the things shown have to do with work. You can see multiple windows from your Mac above your desk.
Microsoft apps like Excel, Word, and Teams make full use of the expansive canvas and sharp text rendering of Vision Pro.
You can FaceTime with family or colleagues.
So that means you can... So that means that your meetings that you don't want to be at can be in your living room.
There you go.
That's awful. That is so bad. I don't want to invite the corporate world into my living room. No, that's.
I don't like that, Trent.
I don't like that.
I don't know. Like, this is the way I've always felt about like virtual reality stuff in general. It still seems just not streamlined enough.
Right.
You know what I mean? That looks incredible to be able to like have that. If it actually functions the way it's supposed to, that would be an incredible thing. But like, it still looks ridiculous. You know what I would do though? I saw one where somebody was on a plane and it basically just blocks out everything and turns everything into a cinematic like environment, and you have headphones in and they automatically noise cancel everything out.
Yep.
That could be cool. I could see people wearing, everybody's already wearing like these N95 ventilated weird things during COVID. So how much weirder could you get by wearing a AR headset? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Like Veer said, he always wants to be a part of Daft Punk, and that's kind of where we're headed.
Right.
Fashion is headed in that direction.
It is.
Fashion and technology are going to be combined into one streamline cacophony of fabric and technology.
Is it possible? I don't know. I mean, I guess anything's possible with future technology, but like, is it even possible to make something like what Google Glass tried to be?
Maybe.
This almost seems like to me more of like the Google Glass concept.
I like the, I know it's out of a cartoon, but I like the idea of the iPhone from Futurama, where it's the EYE, the iPhone, and they take a hammer and hammer it in here.
Oh. That sounds very interesting.
Oh, man. Speaking of the iPhone, let's take another minute to hear from our sponsors. That segue had nothing to do with anything. That's okay. We're gonna play some ads now.
This episode of Hollercast is brought to you by Big Al's Pack and Ship, located off Roan Road in downtown Spruce Pine, right next to Webb Funeral Home. Big Al's is your full-service shipping solution, shipping out UPS, FedEx, as well as DHL. In addition to shipping services, Big Al also offers copy and fax support, notary public services, and is Spruce Pine's go-to source for U-Haul truck and trailer rental. If you're looking to ship out a package, mention promo code HOLLERCAST at checkout to receive 5% off. Again, that's promo code HOLLERCAST to receive 5% off shipping services. Big Al's Pack and Ship. Make ship happen. This episode of Hollercast is sponsored by Moondust Lounge, Spruce Pine's only dedicated bar room and live music venue. Located at 116 Oak Avenue downtown, Moondust Lounge offers a variety of fun activities for all ages, including weekly karaoke, dance parties, and live music of all genres. Find Moondust Lounge on Instagram or Facebook for a full listing of the week's activities, and mention promo code HOLLERCAST at the bar for 50% off your first beverage. Again, that's promo code HOLLERCAST at the bar for 50% off your first beverage. Moondust Lounge. Get dusted.
And we're back. Does everybody like the Be Right Back screen and the music? I thought that was pretty nifty. Chase, you look fly in those glasses, man.
Dude, I'm just happy that my eyeballs are not being burnt out of the sockets. We got to get some soft light, man.
Yeah, we do. We do.
Buy our merch. We need soft lights in here. Right. We do. In all seriousness, though, I think that is probably needs to be our next.
Absolutely.
We've already talked about this.
We have. We have.
Get some soft lighting. Get Laura to help us with that.
Yep. We need to work on the lighting. And yeah, merch sales go to pay for that. That's what makes this podcast possible. So shop Hollercast.com for all your Hollercast apparel needs. And to support this endeavor, support your local podcast.
Support your local podcast. Literally local podcast.
Well, man, this has been fun.
I know, I like it.
This has been fun.
It's been a while since we've done one like...
It has, just an impromptu...
I feel naked, dude.
Right, I know.
You know, there is something to be said about like...
gear down, like no one can see it on camera, but I'm really not wearing any shorts or pants.
I love having Jimmy here. Jimmy's always a good conversationalist and all that. But it has been a while since we've done a couple lives by ourselves before. But
we have, yeah. Yep.
It's been a while.
It's good to just laugh, man. It's good to just laugh.
Man, it's good. It's springtime.
Yeah.
Things are looking up. The weather's finally starting to warm up a little bit.
Yes, it's been cold.
I know. This has by and large been a very cool start to the spring here. Spring, summer.
It has. Oh, I got an interesting. Did you see the my little coral cobra guy, the little African cobra? He went bonkers on me the other day. Like, you know how Chili was, where I'd hold him and handle him? Oh, man, he came out of shed the other day, and I picked him up out of his cage, and he hooded up and was trying to bite me, and I threw him down. I was like, oh, dude. Yeah, I don't know what's happened to him, but this last shed, he's went berserkers. He's learned how to act like a cobra from the big cobra.
Right.
And that's what he's acting like now. And I'm like, you shed.
Dang.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, I know, man. He was such a chill snake.
Can he really bite you? I mean, I guess he can. But
yeah, he can. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, you make me nervous with that.
I make myself nervous with that.
I know.
No, I really don't. It doesn't bother me in the least.
What's the effects of that venom?
It's neurotoxic, so it shuts down your respiratory system and paralyzes you and you stop breathing.
Yeah, you know.
Yes, Veer, I am big into herpetology. I have 9 snakes, 7 of which are venomous. I've got 2 cobras, a cottonhead, which is a hybrid of a copperhead and a cottonmouth. I have a Komodo Island pit viper, 2 African bush vipers, a rhino viper, 2 ball pythons, and the 2 cobras. And that one little cobra, the little African coral cobra, went like berserk on me. So I'm not free handling him anymore because he would not be a fun time.
He's just a little guy, though.
He is just a little guy. He is.
How big will he get in comparison to that monocle cobra?
He won't get nowhere near that large. He'll probably full grown be 2 feet, 2.5 to 3, like on the really large side of things.
I gotcha. Okay.
But probably 2.5 feet, somewhere in there.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, but a bite from him would not be fun.
I get people this time of year start posting snakes and stuff. Man, somebody posted one. Good God of mercy! I don't know where they found that copperhead at, but it was a big old fat no-probe
monster.
Oh my God, that thing was a monster to be a.
Yeah,
I've never seen a copperhead that big in my life.
Yeah,
I've seen plenty of copperheads.
They can get big. They can get big. A lot of the Keystone snakes,
fat.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Large-bodied snakes.
Yeah.
No turtles. I just have snakes. I'm just a serpent guy. I don't have any lizards or any kind of any other reptiles. Just snakes. I've actually considered. I don't raise my own food. I feed frozen thawed, and the reason I feed frozen thawed is I don't. I'm a softie, man. I'm a softie. I can't handle watching those mice. Like, it kills me listening to them scream and hop around and piss themselves and stuff after they've been envenomated. It's so bad. So,
but the other, I asked him this very question. The other thing made a lot of sense though when you said that they also can, especially one big enough to feed that monocle cobra,
they
can hurt the snake.
They can injure the animal. Yes. Right. So I mean, obviously they're going to fight back because they're literally fighting for their lives. So if they bite your snake, it gets infected. I mean, who am I going to take a monocle cobra to treat an infection around here? So it's pretty much just like
a safety measure.
On your own. Yeah. You're on your own. But I thought about this weekend maybe going out and lifting some tin and see if I can't find me a big timber rattler.
There you go.
A big Cortalus horridus. It's their scientific name. Horridus.
Coitus.
Cortalis.
Oh.
Or Cortalus horridus.
I thought you said coitus.
Coitus. Coitus horridus. I love my snakes. They're so misunderstood. They're so misunderstood. They really are.
I admire your passion for it. And he does it right, Veer. That's the other thing. He does it right. He's got he's got everything marked, got bite protocol manuals, got anti-venom here ready to go just in case.
Yep. I'm very, very careful. Even though
you do it the right way.
I do free handle some snakes, and I get a lot of shit for that. But that's a risk I take. I know what these snakes are capable of. I don't free handle ones that could kill me.
No.
The monocle cobra, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But
don't ever free handle that.
Yep. No, I'm not going to. Not without any kind of, at least with the gloves on. Those gloves.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I can handle them with those.
Like I said, and ever since I've been hanging out with you now, I get it all the time on YouTube. I have to admit, it is pretty fascinating.
It's
pretty fascinating.
It would blow your mind the amount of people that message me. They're like, "Hey, I want to come see the snakes. Can I come see? I'll sign a waiver. I'll pay what." I'm like, "Dude, you don't have to pay me anything. You don't have to sign any waiver because they're behind glass. I'm not going to get them out and let you handle a cobra. But you can come see them anytime. I love showing them off, and I love educating people about these animals because they're so misunderstood. Snakes are never aggressive. They're only defensive. They will not chase you.
Right.
And for God's sakes, the cucumber thing. Copperheads do not smell like cucumbers. Ever. They smell like rotten garbage when they musk, but they do not. I don't know where that comes from. The cucumber scent thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
That is not at all.
I do have now that I've been around your snakes for like a little bit or whatever, I do have a completely different opinion on the venomous snakes that are around here.
Yeah, they're
harmless, pretty much.
I mean,
yes, it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt. Rattlesnakes could be a fatal bite.
Right.
The horridus that we have here, the timbers, it's a pretty nasty venom.
But I mean,
you get it treated and you're good to go.
Right. As long as you're getting to the doctor within the next little bit, which I mean,
you need to get to the ER immediately.
Yeah.
You need to get to the ER immediately.
But for a copperhead bite, I mean,
I would still go to the ER immediately.
Oh yeah, you definitely need to. But I mean, it ain't like life or death within the next first 20 minutes.
No.
And neither with a timber rattler either.
No. No, it's not. It's not going to kill you that quickly. But timber rattler could be a fatal bite. So absolutely go to the doctor or to the ER.
What's the deal with their venom?
It's a nasty cocktail of cytotoxic, so that breaks down tissue. Let's see, cardiotoxic, so that attacks your heart tissue, the heart muscles, your heart muscle. It's got some neurotoxins in it, so it can shut down your. It's a nasty cocktail of many different toxins, and of course the hemotoxic, which is the primary mode of attack for a timber rattler. It messes with your clotting factors. You basically bleed from every orifice.
That's rough.
Yeah. Yeah, hemotoxic.
But that's not going to happen again within the first hour of being bit. Right? What are we talking about?
Yeah, you would start bleeding uncontrollably pretty quickly.
Really?
Yeah. Rattlesnake
I wonder what the frequency of timber rattler bites are around here.
I don't know. That's a good question.
I would say it's probably rare.
I would need to ask one of the ER docs around here, see what they see statistically in the ER. I know I follow, and no, not personally, but on somewhat of a level because of my snakes, the leading toxicologist in United States that deals with snake bites and exotic snake bites. His name is Dr. Spencer Green, and I'm friends with him on Facebook. We communicate a lot because of the snakes I have, and if I were to be envenomated, he would be the person I called to direct the ER doctor in tandem with my bite protocols. But he's on, I think, snake bite 24 for the year, and he does all these like crazy exotic snake bites and stuff like that. So there's been 24 envenomations, 24 snake bites of venomous species that he's dealt with this year. He's located in Arizona.
I got you.
Out that way. He's a cool guy.
Yeah, that whole community seems kind of fascinating.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
But, man, snakes, guitars, guns, and cars, that's my stuff. And watches.
And watches.
Yeah, that's my jams. I need to feed some snakes tonight. You want to watch a snake eat?
Sure.
Cool.
I get scared around that monocle cobra, though.
It's not. I'm feeding the little cobra.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I gotcha.
Yeah, monocle cobra's gonna eat this weekend, and little blue dude. But man, this has been fun.
This has been fun.
I think we should call it.
We should do this more often.
We should. We should do this more often, at least once a week.
So just a disclaimer for Thursday. We may be cooking up something for a little bit of a live stream at the Alien Festival.
Yes.
So we've been tossing around some ideas. Josh was trying to get off work. He was supposed to work that day, and we managed to make it happen. So
yes. So I don't know exactly what we're gonna do. It really depends on the weather, the equipment that I can get working, because I've got some stuff. I'm going to have to test the equipment. I've got a lot of equipment that we could use, but I got to test it and get it set up to use for that, because I've been in the past using it for musical projects, but it can still do everything we need it to. So we won't be doing an episode this Thursday. Like Chase said, we're going to be saving it for the weekend, but please go to the Alien Festival. Support these things. Support your local restaurants. Support all the local businesses. That's what this is really all about.
That's right.
Support your local podcast. Go check out our sponsors. Chase, what have you got to send us out on?
Oh, well, spring has sprung.
It has.
Let's spring to the sprung.
You want to?
And spring on and bounce and wiggle our way into summertime.
Let's commence the jiggling.
Commence the jiggling. Thank you, beautiful people. We appreciate you all the time. Thank you so much, everybody that tunes in, and all the nice. I don't say this enough, and we probably don't say it enough. We get so much great feedback from these things.
I love it.
You know, it's a little bit of a labor of love from times. You know, after a long day at the mine, you don't always want to come in here and necessarily be
or a long day of building houses
or uber conversational.
Sure.
But you know, it's the kind compliments and the well wishes that we get a lot. I forgot to bring it. I ran out of the house and forgot to bring it, but the Keith's crew sent us a very nice thank you letter, and we appreciate that. It was our pleasure.
Absolutely.
We're always down for the fundraising efforts. If anybody has something that's you feel like is worthwhile and you know has to do with somebody or something here locally that we can really help out with, we'd be absolutely glad to do so.
If it's helping others, 100%.
Yeah. So long as you come up with some crazy challenge for me or Josh or all of us to try, we'll do it. So anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. This has been another Hollercast live stream. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. We love you all. Peace out.